GTA 5 on PS3, GTA 5 on PS4, GTA 5 on PS5, The Last of Us Remastered, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, Skyrim Special Edition, Skyrim Anniversary Edition. You see where this shit is going. I don't even want to continue. These are all remasters, so-called remasters or remakes of a game. But we're mostly gonna focus on the remasters. Are these special editions and remasters just money grabs, or are they changing anything in the game except the console they are on? Why remasters exist in the first place? Now, I'ma be fair, they are not all bad. Old hardware dies and they cannot handle the heat that they could have handled when the game just released, and just all games become inaccessible, and they gotta find a way, if the game is working, to make that game, of course, print more money, but besides that, to make the game accessible and make everyone be able to play it and enjoy it in many years to the future. One of the most important things in video games are graphics, and they age. You know, they become old very quickly. Let's take a look at GTA 4. It released in 2008, and don't get me wrong, it still has pretty solid graphics, but compared to that time, at that time, it was one of the games that had the best graphics ever. You know what I mean? So they need to change something so the game always stays good as it was. And also, new players constantly discover classics and games that they didn't play before. So what's a better way of hooking the new player into old games than making a remaster so they can enjoy it fully like people who played the game at that time enjoyed it? We have some great examples for this, like Demon's Souls, Shadow of the Colossus. These games are really good, and these games need remasters. And don't get me wrong, games like GTA 5 need remasters, of course, for new consoles, for some new stuff, but we don't need, I'm gonna put on the screen how many fucking remasters of GTA 5 exactly we have. We don't need all of them, let's be honest. But the real problem starts when nothing in those games changes. The game stays the absolutely fucking same. We have same missions, same mechanics, and same stuff that we had before the remaster or any of those special editions happened, but you pay suddenly $40 more, $50, $70 more, and you would have just paid for the original game, or if the game never got those special editions or remasters. And a lot of big games have a problem with this, and I swear this is the last time I mention GTA 5 and Skyrim, because these games have shit ton of remasters and additions that are genuinely not needed. So the real question is, are we even playing for improvements, or are we just paying to have a permission to play this game again, you know? Because if you play GTA 5 on PS3, you're gonna feel left behind if there is a PS5 version, because you're gonna need a PS5 and you're gonna need a GTA 5 PS5 version. So it's crazy. But we get to the part that every company loves. Why do companies really love remasters? We can compare this simply to, I don't know, making a new game. Making a new game takes multiple years, but let's say like about 3 to 5 years for a decent studio to make a decent video game. It takes up huge budget, which means investing a lot of money in something that you don't know will work out. So it's a huge risk for every company, but let's be honest, if you're an established company, even if the game is absolute shit, you're in the worst scenario, make some millions less than you spend on that game, because people are gonna have high expectations, but still, it is a huge risk. You're risking. You don't want to, as a gaming company and as a businessman, you genuinely don't want to lose any money, and that's normal, that's alright. But making a remaster means you already have an existing game, you already have an existing fan base for that game, and you can guarantee the sales, you know, because if you make a remaster about a great game, people are gonna want to see what's in that remaster, if it actually changes something. And even if it didn't change anything, people are genuinely obsessed over remasters and over having every version of their favorite game. And trust me, most of the games have players which, to them, that game is a favorite game. So the point I'm trying to make is that remasters are safer than just jumping into something new and making a new game. But the biggest problem is that players keep buying that. Why is that? I'm not trying to blame any companies for making a remaster, you know. I mean, we all would have done that if made the same game, maybe changed something for a couple of $100,000 or a few million. If we could gain multi-million, maybe even $1 billion from that, we all would have do that. Let's be honest. But the reason players actually keep buying these games is because they provide some kind of a nostalgia, and they most of the times have better graphics. As I already said, like if a game is released for PS3, PS5 remaster, it's gonna have better graphics. And some people feel pressured by friends, especially those who have not played that game before. Let's say you played The Last of Us and your friend hasn't, and he bought a remaster that released on 2022, and he tells you, oh my god, I gotta buy this remaster. I know that you have the original game, but the remaster is so much better. Sometimes you gotta feel a pressure to buy. I mean, if you're weak as shit. If you're not weak as shit, don't give a shit about what anyone says. But let's be honest, most of the people do, so you're gonna feel pressure to buy it. But the biggest hypocritical thing about this is that gamers are one of the worst communities, because they complain about remasters so fucking much. I mean, I just got to the point where everybody wanna hate on them, they still buy them. Like, why the fuck do you buy it if you're gonna complain about it? I mean, it's okay if you complain about it once, then you bought it because you didn't know or something, but if you complain about it, if you know that they're bad, why the fuck buy them? But the remasters are actually worth it when there are major visual improvements, when the quality of general life of the game changes, or when something new is added to the game. They're not worth it if there's some slightly sharper textures. I see a lot of companies remastering games from like 1990s. You cannot remaster the game to have amazing graphics. You just make it sharper and more clearer. But I mean, that could be worth it because, as I already said, provides nostalgia. But most of the times it's not. And also, what a lot of companies do, they just increase FPS a little and put it on like a brand new remaster, and the full price of the game is back again, and what you see, everybody's fucking buying the game. But maybe, just maybe, if you think about it, the remasters are not the main problem of everything I say right now. It's how often they release and how little they improve on anything. So to answer the question at the beginning, remasters aren't automatically cash grabs, but they become when companies just start selling the same experience over and over and over again. It really becomes harder to tell whether they're changing anything in the game or they're just thinking about their profits.